out today. Along with that, I did a job on Wednesday. It wasn't even a hard job, but I had to crawl underneath the car. I don't know if it's from fucking all this weight I gained. I got like this fucking bubble gut now. Fucking like what alcoholics have. I don't drink alcohol. But it's like the only place I've really gained weight is like right in my gut. I grew a set of tits and fucking like my upper thighs. Otherwise, like I mean a little bit in my face, but like mainly like all in my midsection. I had to climb up from underneath this fucking Jeep Grand Cherokee like fucking 30 times the other day because he thought it needed it. It was my cousin. He thought it needed a battery, so he had all kinds of people trying to jumpstart him for like 3 days in a row. He had like some girls trying to fucking jumpstart his car, and some guy, Dave. And I get down there and like the fucking alarms are going off and the fucking alarm's loud as shit. This thing doesn't need a battery, dude. I got underneath it and I was banging on the starter and I got it to fucking wing over a little bit. And I didn't realize until I pulled the starter out that fucking from them trying to jump start it. I mean there was some corrosion on it too, but the plastic on the cylinder was starting to move, and when I unplugged it from the starter, fucking the connector ripped off the wire, so I had to drive over to AutoZone. I'm thinking I'm being proactive. I get these weather pack connectors so I can grip it on there. The fucking wire is too short, and I got like a 90-degree connector because it was in a tight spot. I figured the 90-degree connector would help out. No, it just made matters worse. And I kept ripping the new well. Just keep waiting. Yeah, lightning all over the place. That one's right next to me. Hi, Gabriel and Jose and Diamond Kiss. So anyways, I had to go to AutoZone for a second time, and then I extended the wire, and I got the thing crimped on there, but I had to fucking take the starter back out because I couldn't fit both of my hands up in there to crimp a wire on. I didn't have the right crimping tool, so I'm like using a pair of vice grips to fucking crimp these things so I can get it crimped down nice and good. And I got the weather pack terminals, again, like the ones that you heat up and they shrink on the wire. So I spent like $50, fucking, like I made no money on that job whatsoever. I spent money out of my own pocket to get it wire and connected. Of course, they don't, like, I seem to remember them once upon a time selling, like, little strands of wire with, like, I'll just read it again. Someone else complained. Anyways, getting back to my story. I seem to remember once upon a time they used to sell like a small connector with like and that's all I needed was like a straight female bladed connector to go onto this starter because it had a male blade. Well, they don't have that, so I had to buy like a whole fucking like mini coil of wire. And it'll come in handy later, but it's like I don't have the money to be spending right now. And then I bought straight on female connectors with the weather pack. And then I had I only needed one butt connector. I ended up getting a whole thing of butt connectors. I mean, now I have them in stock for the next time I run into this issue, but pedal to the metal. Look at this jerk off. It's one lane, asshole. Wow, dude. Yeah, you're gonna do it too, right? Just cause a fucking accident. Whatever. So walk. If I was walking, that prick would have ran me over. You don't make no sense, bud. You got one lane getting off an exit on the highway and you got someone passing you on the left. Does that make sense? Don't make sense to me. Usually a highway off-ramp is one lane. You don't have people in the left fucking going by you. Because then when they get to the end of the fucking off-ramp, they're causing all this traffic that's in front of me. Because they're trying to get in. But I should walk. In your opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But just so that you can see, you know, everyone's fucking doing it. Causing fucking traffic. But you know it all. A lot of you guys ask me where I'm from. I'm from the United States on the East Coast. We're actually experiencing our first bit of rain in a while. It's been pretty dry lately. I was actually complaining about the rain at the beginning of the summer. The beginning of the summer, I thought it was going to be like last year. Last summer, it rained every weekend. Like, work all week, it's beautiful out, then the weekend comes and it's raining out. This year it was starting to look like that, and then now it's been dry for quite a while. So this rain we got today is kind of needed. I think I live in New York. Kind of close, pretty close. It's the accent, right? I'm a little further east. The rain, but it just sucks because I had a bunch of shit planned out for today. I was gonna obviously make some money, which is always good, and I was gonna try to get a video up on the Firebird because I just did those grills. I wanted to see how they looked in the car, like installed in the nose, and take some glamour shots, but I got rained out. The ambulance. Thought about it. Hello, Riley VR. And Javiria? Jaya? I'm doing good. Stuck in a little bit of traffic. I should have taken the route that I took up here. I should have done. I would have avoided all of this bullshit. I'm a sucker for punishment, I guess. Oh, dude, what are you gonna do? You're on your phone, looking down and not paying attention. Alright, well, I'm just gonna pull out in front of you then, bub. Was gonna let you go, but you're not paying attention. Just busy texting on the phone. Surprised that unmarked fucking cop car in front of me didn't see you doing that. These new unmarked Explorers that the cops have, they think they're slick. They're starting to use the non-police interceptor ones that have like the wheels on them and shit. I mean, I can't really say that because I've seen a couple of like contractors have those vehicles, and they have what it is they have like lights, and they're like buried up at the top of the back window, and like they have the strobe lights in like odd places, but they're like so noticeable, especially if you know what you're looking for. Got 2 people in the chat today, huh? Some people I was conversing with earlier left. I'm not all that entertaining, I know. I'm funny looking, but I don't know, I was just driving home and I figured I hadn't been live on TV. Man, the thunder is cracking. All the dark clouds anyway. You guys from? Everyone's asking where I'm from. Where are all you guys from? Where you guys hail? Let's get some conversation going. Back down to 2. Yeah, I've gone through a few flooded roads already. When I was on the highway, I had to... People were pulling over because the highway flash flooded. I don't even know why I got on the highway. I should have just went back the way I came. There was no traffic. I don't know why I went this way. I just wanted to go a different route. I saw like 3 cops along the last route, but not doing anything wrong for him to fuck with me, so I should have just went back the way I came. My ugly mug. Be aware of that. Hopefully it'll wash away all that transmission fluid that guy left. Like I said before, I was complaining about the rain at the beginning of the summer, and it's actually been pretty good. I haven't been getting much rain on the weekends. It was last summer, it was like every weekend I got my son, it was fucking raining out. But he don't mind, that means he gets to stay inside and play video games. We got 8 people in here. You guys want to see this view, or you want to see my ugly mug? Oh, we're down to 3. Fucking guy almost didn't stop. What by our tank? Okay. I'm seeing messages. It's at the bottom of our street. Help me money, boss. Help me money. You're barking up the wrong tree asking for money, bud. I feel your pain. I'm in the same boat as you. Our channel. I'm seeing all your messages, Don. I was actually talking about how the bottom of the street have to look out for. Unless you're talking about text messages, I haven't gotten any text messages. Why our Wu-Tang means, but yeah. Indonesia. Well, hello from the United States to Indonesia. I hope you're doing well. Hey Bruce, how are you? Familiar face, finally. I got rained out today. Looking at those grills. But I got rained out. I guess I really can't complain because we haven't been getting too much rain in this area. It's a lot better than last year. Last year it was like every weekend it was raining. You got a drought going on where you're at? Is it you that's up in Canada, or is that Donley that's up in Canada? Can you help me pay off my boss's debt? Buddy, if I could pay off, I would definitely help you. But, unfortunately, I have my own issues, my friend. Oh, you're in Missouri. I heard about Missouri having some droughts. I follow a YouTube channel. The guy's based out of there. Pole Barn Garage. I think he's out there. Got one coming in for a landing. He's on the glide slope. Holy shit, he's banking. That's a bank. I'm right near Rhode Island Airport. Even from my house. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so Don is in Canada. Yeah, so I'm like right near the Rhode Island Airport, and we see the planes all the time, especially on this route that I'm on. The route that I'm on, you can see him get onto the glide slope, but this guy that was just fucking, I was just watching. He got onto his glide slope and then started banking real hard. Fucking planes, they intrigue me, but I wouldn't get on one, especially these days. Maybe 15, 20 years ago, but not these days. Yeah, around my area, we had at the end of the summer, we had like a wicked drought. The water supply there. You drive right by it on the highway on the way back to my house, and it was like every day it was getting lower and lower and lower, and then it was getting to the point that you were seeing like little islands in the middle of it, and that's like shit that would have been like 20 feet, 30 feet underwater. They were making it so that we couldn't use any like fucking outside hoses, signs up everywhere. The fucking plane coming in for that landing really freaked me out. They always kind of freak me out, especially when they come over my house when it's really cloudy out. They come in real low. Sometimes I swear I can read the numbers off the fucking tails on these 737s or whatever they're flying. flying now, the Airbuses. Well, here's to hoping a little bit of weather goes your way, Bruce. Nice when it's not raining out and you can work outside, but when it's too much, everything gets dry and fucking dust starts blowing in the wind. It sucks. Still waiting on Ames to call me on my back-ordered pods. Hoping they'd have called me by now because I want to go make that trip up and see Dizzy's. He says he's got some tools for me that'll help me out. I've been thinking about just making a separate trip to go see him, but I already know, like, as soon as I do that, I'll go up, I'll make a trip to go see him, and then, like, the next day, I'll get a call from fucking Ames, and they'll be like, oh, your stuff's in. Which, I mean, it is what it is, but that's just how my life goes. Like, always, I try to pre-plan for certain things, and then it never works out. Or if like, I'll try to plan for something, like the whole Dizzy situation. I'm trying to make it like, you know, one big trip. I go up to New Hampshire, and then, like, I'll get a hold of Jeff, and you know, we'll all meet up over at Dizzy's on the way back. Because this time I won't be in a U-Haul, because I won't be having to move a whole big huge floor pan and shit. It'll just be stuff that I can fit in the car that I'm driving now. So I won't be on mileage restrictions and time restrictions. And then it would just, you know, it'd be easier if I just worked the whole thing out all at once. But like I said, I'll plan that out. And then I'll get impatient because Ames isn't calling me. So we'll set something up, we'll go meet up, and then I'll get a call from Ames the next day. It's just the way it goes. If they don't call me in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna get together with Jeff and Dizzy, and I'm just gonna make a trip, a solo trip, to go see them guys. I'm not sure, like, what we'll do, but probably just the three of us get together and just, you know, have like a hangout session on a live or something. Probably, since all three of us will be together, we'll figure out whose channel we'll use. We'll probably use Jeff's channel because he's got more subs, and you know, we'll just have a fucking shoot the shit session. You know, see Dizzy's collection. I've been dying to see his museum that he's got. Jeff was talking one time about getting me on a live stream, like when I'm down at my old man's house and, you know, going over my car. That's what's good about our little community here. You know, fucking Barry and Rich, like, they wish they had what we have. They can't get together with their viewers and you know, have like a community. We're all helping each other and fucking, you know, boosting each other up instead of fucking, you know, complaining about everything like they do. But I think it would be cool if we all the three of us, you know, because we're so close to each other, we got together and had like a live show over at Dizzy's place. And I can talk about my car and, you know, let you guys know what's up with that. I've been making like a book on that car, so I can like bring my book with me with all my receipts and everything I've done so far. And we can look over like Disney's collection and stuff. And obviously we can fucking can have a little session going over Rich and Barry and all the other fucking losers out there that need to be fucking put out in the spotlight for not the reasons they want to be put in the spotlight, but for the reasons they need to be put in the spotlight. Because they're fucking hateful scum and pedophile trash that need to be fed to a wood chipper feet first. Yeah, I think Jinx is. I think he said he's in. I want to say he's in Kentucky, but I think that's wrong. I think he said Arkansas. But yeah, I think that would be pretty neat too, Bruce. Me and Jeff have talked about it a few times, and Dizzy. But I've actually talked to Jeff on like text messages about it. We're gonna do it eventually. It's just I was gonna do it when I went up to Ames the first time, but with the U-Haul and the mileage and the gas I had to replace, and then I had to be back there by a certain time, it just wouldn't work out. I thought my route would take me like right by his exit, Jeff's exit. But I didn't even go up 93. I ended up going I ended up going away from him. So it would have added like 3 hours. No, it would have added 2 hours onto my trip. And it just, yeah, I mean, he was the one that even said it's not worth it. You know, you end up paying all kinds of money just to fucking, you know, hang out here for maybe an hour. I'd rather do it when I have my own vehicle, like when I do this next trip, because there won't be any time constraints, and you know what I mean. I don't have to worry about mileage. Obviously replacing gas, but I mean, it's in my own vehicle. I'm not fucking filling up a tank and dropping it off back to the U-Haul. Yeah, that's right, Arkansas. I knew it was. I thought it was Tennessee because of his accent he's got. I knew it was like one of them southern kind of states, but I don't like to assume either, you know. Yeah, Jinx is a good dude. I haven't had time to really keep up on his channel, but I think him and his old lady are getting a new place. Not sure, but I think I saw that on one of his posts. I wish me and my old lady could get a new place. I'm sick of living where we're at. Not too bad, but it's a trap. It's fucking, it's state housing, you know. My girl was already enrolled in it before we even met. She's kind of like roped into the fucking trap, you know, because she had an accident a few years back. Switch this. But she had an accident a few years back that destroyed both of her legs. I call her robo legs because she's got all kinds of hardware in her legs and ankles and shit. But she was out of work for a long time after that happened, and because she was in public housing, she didn't, have to worry about rent and getting kicked out and shit, because she ended up out of work, not being paid. She was out of work for close to a year. So ever since then, she's kind of stuck into this fucking trap, and it's like, she can't make any more money. She just got her inheritance from her mother passing away, and she's having to hide it in other accounts so that the housing authority doesn't see it and raise the rent. So it's an issue in that aspect, but it's like, if she ever got into an issue, because she works for CVS, and CVS has been in the news lately for fucking all kinds of random shit. So if CVS goes under like Rite Aid did and stuff, she doesn't have to worry about becoming homeless because she doesn't have a job. We thought about getting a house because it doesn't make sense to get an apartment, because what we pay for an apartment for rent, you could pay for a mortgage on a house. But she's owned a house before, I haven't. She's like 15 years older than I am. So she's owned a house before, and she's like, it's not just that, there's taxes on a house, property taxes, fucking this and that taxes, shit breaks, fucking a tree falls on the roof, fucking, all of that. And stop and get cigarettes while I was whatever. So that shut down that idea on the house, on getting a house. So we ended up staying here. But if I can get my name all situated, I'm not looking for my old man to pass away, but my old man wants to leave the house over where my car is at to me and my two sisters, and there's enough room in that house for the three of us, It'd be the four of us with my girlfriend, but yeah, when my father got the house where my car is at, it's the house has been in my family since the town was incorporated in like the late 1800s. So like when my grandfather passed away, he had 2 reverse mortgages on the house, and my grandfather was on his deathbed telling my father, like don't even bother. Like, I pulled out a bunch of reverse mortgages on the house to float. See, my grandfather, he got taken advantage of most of his life. I hate to say it, but a lot of my family members took advantage of him. Mainly my uncle. He lived in that. I mean, my uncle also did help my grandfather when it came to like, physical stuff. He was also a carpenter, so fixing things around the house. But basically, my uncle lived in that house rent free like his whole adult life, and
never like really paid anything to my grandfather. My grandfather bought him vehicles and shit, and he took out mortgages on the house to do a lot of this shit. And he had two reverse mortgages, 249 per year. That's not too bad for a year. I live in a Democrat state, so it's a lot worse. I don't know what my old man pays, but he's got a good rate, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. But so anyways, when my grandfather was on his deathbed, my father was telling him that he's trying to get approved for a loan to buy the house because he doesn't want the house to leave the family. And my father pays about 850. He said he was I was talking to him the other day. He gets like a 3.5 something percentage rate. He keeps getting people trying to get him to take out a loan on the house, and he says to me, he says, I said, I'd love to take out. I'll take out a loan on the house right now and get some money if you can match my percentage. And they go, oh yeah, well what do you pay now for your percentage? And he gives them that figure, and they fucking basically hang up on him. Because I think the going percentage around here is like 6%, something like that. But anyways, so my grandfather's telling him like, there's two reverse mortgages on the house. The house needs a bunch of work. Um, it's not worth it. And I think what my grandfather really wanted to tell him, because my father's actually experiencing this now, is that house is kind of like, especially when it comes to my family members, it's like a flop house. Whenever they run into problems, they all come running back to the house. I mean, I've done it a few times too, but I mean, I paid my way through. I didn't just fucking flop around. So so my father goes to apply for the loan, and yeah, that's what my father has, 3.75. That's what he's no, no, it's 3.5 something. It's 3.52 or some. He said something. Um, so my father's. This is back in 2012. So he's going to apply for the mortgage on the house. And they valued the house at like $310,000. It's in a really good location. The house itself was, kind of, it wasn't dilapidated, but really wasn't the best. Still has knob and tube wiring in it. If that kind of explains a little bit of the shape of the house. Um, so he didn't get approved for the loan. He could only get approved for like $270,000 or some shit like that. So in this point in my life, I wasn't doing too well. I wasn't doing the right things. I was also kind of like mixed up in drugs. Um, but I came up with an idea. I was gonna kill two birds with one stone, and if it didn't work out, the house was gonna go off to somebody else anyways, and then they'd have to deal with it. So one night I'm fucking figuring out how I'm gonna get money so I can get to my next fix, and I'm under the impression that my father ain't gonna be able to get the house. Like, there's only one chance he can get this house. So I broke into the house and I cut all the plumbing out of the basement. I cut all of the fucking plumbing out of the basement of that house. Made it unlivable. Because if you don't have running water in the house, it's uninhabitable, they say. Right? So I tore all the plumbing out of the house. I fucking scrapped the copper. I got my fix I was looking for. Scumbag me, right? Well, it turns out my little scumbag idea fucking helped out my old man. Because after that happened, he had to make a police report. They didn't know it was me that did it at the time, but all I knew is that somebody came in to the house and cut all the copper out. Nobody was living there at the time. The house was empty. So now there's a reappraisal done on the house. Now, since there's no running water in the house has now been valued at like, I think they valued the house at like 255,000, something like that. So my father got the loan, and how I had cut the plumbing out of the house, we had water back within the day. Like when we started living there, like within the day, we went to Home Depot. I got some PEX tubing and some gator clamps, and it's like I didn't fucking cut things off flush with the wall and shit. I was able to fucking put a gator grip on there and some PEX hose, and we had water within the hour, you know. So that's how my father got the house, and now with the housing market the way it is, he got a loan on that house for like $255,000, and he's got people calling him every week trying to pull up more because the house is now valued upwards of $450,000. So he could sell that house right now and make money. And but yeah. So ever since then, he's been making little improvements on it. The downstairs bathroom's all brand new, and the second floor was rehabbed like back in the 80s, and so that got all rehabbed. So the house is slowly, getting like refurbished and fixed up. And yeah, replacement cost. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to replace that house for what he could sell it for. But so right now he's talking about because in the second floor there's only a toilet. So there's no like full bathroom on the second floor. So we're trying to there's like a nook inside of the kitchen on the second floor. And like where the toilet is, it's like a literal fucking closet that has a toilet in it. So we're thinking about getting rid of that and taking that cubby that's in the kitchen and making that into a full bathroom. So that way it'll raise the value up of the house because it's 2 floors. Can you get in a house for the money you get? Yeah. But what I'm getting at is if I can clear my name up, and all it really has to do is I have to go to court, and it's all over child support stuff. My ex took my son from me and thought that was going to get me to fucking pay the state child support, but as long as I wasn't seeing my kid, I wasn't paying her shit. So if I can get that straightened out, I have an in on that house, eventually. I mean, I'd rather have my old man, to be honest with you. But in the future, it's something, something I could possibly, work out. Allah, WLYD, hi, for one. And two, I don't understand Arabic or read it. So if you can translate to English, that'd be better. If not, your comments are just going unread. Because I don't know what any of that shit means. Yeah. All right. Well, no angler. No speaker. Sorry, I don't understand you. I don't know how you can understand me if you don't speak English. So, but anyways, So that's why we're still stuck in public housing, because my girl is too afraid of taking the chance, and I don't blame her. I mean, she still has enough in the account that we could probably get into a house, but it wouldn't. We'd be upside down. We'd end up upside down. We'd probably have enough for a down payment on a mortgage, and that would basically be it. And she's. This is why I love her, because she thinks about things that I wouldn't. I would just take the chance and fucking figure it out as I go. Um, but being with her, it's helped me, because it's taught me to think ahead. And she's got a pretty big nest egg set away. She took half of it and put it into a money market account, and took the other half of it and put it into like some kind of nest egg account that she can't touch until she's in her like mid 60s. USDA loan, no down payment. Maybe something to look into. Another thing, my old man was talking to me about, because he's a veteran, Air Force. Because he was a veteran, his children can benefit from some of the benefits that veterans have. I'm not sure how true that is. Something to look into, I guess. I mean, my father was no war hero. He was fucking. My mother actually screwed up his Air Force career, but he started out in the Air Force, and my mother ended up fucking pregnant. She ended up pregnant with me, and wasn't responsible enough, so he ended up having to leave his career to take care of me. But he still had his service. He still did his time, basically, that he had to do, and he got it was a honorary discharge, because of everything that happened with my mother and me. So, but he was saying that because he was having issues with paying for some of his medications, and he had always thought, because he did such a short amount of time in the service, he always thought that he didn't qualify for any of the veterans benefits. His whole life, he never took out anything having to do with that. And he's finding out now, in his later years, that yes, you had an honorary discharge, and you served the time that you were allotted. So you are entitled to some, not as many benefits as someone who did like fucking 3 tours in Iraq or something like that, but you are entitled to some. And I guess through extension, his children also qualify. So I might be able to look into something like that too. I'll look into that USDA loan for sure. But I'm wondering if the veterans. I mean, I really don't want to take advantage of stuff like that, because I wasn't a veteran. I wanted to join the service, but when I turned 16, I had my first seizure, and that automatically sealed the deal for me. I couldn't join. I had all intentions on joining. I was either going to do the Air Force or the Navy, because I've always been mechanically inclined, and I wanted to work on machinery. My grandfather was in the Air Force. He was actually a mechanic for the Thunderbirds. I actually have some of his old Thunderbirds uniforms from when he used to work on the crew. So I think even by extension, from my grandfather's service, because they say something about family members being able to being eligible. And my grandfather, he did a tour. He left as a master sergeant. Like I said, he was on the Thunderbirds Air Force team. He he did it all. Him and my step grandfather. My step grandfather was actually in Korea. He was a race car driver before he went into the service, and then got injured in combat and came back home. And I think he tried driving for a couple more years, and then ended up becoming auto repair. I'd like to get out of this trap someday, because every year they go into her finances, and every year, right before they do, she has to cut down her hours so that they don't jack up our rent. I mean, we're in a 3-bedroom apartment, and we only pay $700 a month for it, which is ridiculous. Nobody pays that anymore. Right now, if I wanted to get a 3-bedroom apartment, I'm probably paying like $2,000. They were supposed to move her years ago. Her When she first moved in here, she had her daughter and her son, who were minors at the time, and they have since grown up. Her daughter just turned 30 yesterday, so that's how long her daughter's been out of the house, and her son's been out of the house probably 11 years. Actually, no, he's been out of the house 7 years, because he lived here for a few years when I started staying here. So they're supposed to move her to a 1-bedroom apartment. We're in a 3-bedroom apartment, and she's the only one on the lease. So there's 2 bedrooms that aren't being used. They are actually being used because my son uses it when he comes over on the weekends, but they don't know that. And her daughter's still got the other room full of her shit, and I've been fucking bitching at her for years to have her come get it, because one of these days they're gonna fucking knock on the door and be like, "Oh, we got a 1-bedroom for you. You gotta move," and we ain't gonna have room to store all of her daughter's shit. But I don't know. It's really, I see it as a trap, but it is helpful in a lot of ways, because with my epilepsy, I can't like go out and just get a regular 9 to 5 job, because nobody will hire me. And I make more money working for myself anyways. I've been on my own since '09. And even if I don't work for like a whole week, I could fucking work that following Monday and make a whole week's worth of pay in a few hours. So I'm kind of all set with making somebody else money. I mean, I worked for a friend of mine who had, he tried opening up a car dealership, and he had a garage, and I was, doing all the work for him. But, I mean, I was making him money. I was making $60 a day. He was paying me $60 a day in cash. Somewhere between $60 and $80 a day. And he would pay me at the end of the day. So, I mean, the money would go as soon as I got it. And I just got sick of making other people money. He's fucking driving around in new vehicles, and I'm fucking trying to patch my fucking Jeep together that has a rotted out frame. You have a good holiday too, Bruce. Have a good afternoon. But, got sick of doing that, and it's just I make more money on my own. I'd rather sit on my ass and do nothing and wait to get jobs other than rather than fucking. I mean, if it's somebody that like we're working together, like if I had a buddy and like we went into business together, and I could see all the financials, and I knew I wasn't getting taken for a ride, that'd be a different story. I have no problem helping other people out. But it's like when I'm fucking struggling to get to work to make you money, and you're fucking flaunting all the money I'm making you in my face, and then you're not even appreciative of it. That's the other thing. He wasn't appreciative of it at all. He used to treat me like shit. We used to get into arguments all the time. That's why I don't work for him anymore. Because we got in. One, he decided he wanted to go back to IT. So he ended up getting some other kid to run the dealership side of things, and I was doing the repairs. He decided he wanted to go back to IT, and then I was out of work for a week. He has me come back to work because he's got a van he wants me to work on, and the whole time I'm there, he's treating me like an asshole. Cleaning up the garage bay, he's treating me like an asshole, trying to fucking get a reaction out of me. He got a reaction out of me, but not the reaction that he was looking for. He wanted me to flip out so that way he could record me having a flip out session, so that way when I go to tell everybody why I don't work for him anymore, he could fucking be like, oh, well, this is why. Well, I looked at him and I says, I know what you're trying to do right now, and I'm not going to give it to you. I grabbed all my shit and I left. And he was following me out the door with his phone in his hand, recording me. You better not spin tires when you leave here, and this, that, and the other thing. And he left me fucking horrible voicemails afterwards and shit. And it's like, okay. And that was 3 years ago now. Going on 4. Well, we've been on for an hour and 4 minutes. I got one person left in here. I think we're going to shut her down. To everybody that came in and said hi, I appreciate you. To the one guy that was begging me for money, I'm sorry I couldn't help you, bud. I have a hard enough time helping myself. Bruce, thank you for stopping by. And to all my subs, I appreciate all 205 of you I think I have now. Yeah, we broke 200. I broke 200 last week, and then it went under for a day, and then it came back up, and I think I got a little buffer zone now. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys, and thanks for coming by and listening to me rant and rave for an hour and 4 minutes. Till the next one.